We do have some more breaking news related to the Iran war. This is by Fox News right here saying breaking Trump speaking with Fox News' Trey Yingst threatens that Iran will be, quote, blown off the face of the earth.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the conservative bird, and me, Double T. And you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. We really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out. Also, if you could, please make sure to hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, and smash the notification. It's the quick, easy, and free way to help the channel grow as big as possible. So, we have breaking news. Donald Trump is officially moved from peace talks and negotiations to turning Iran into a literal parking lot.
Yeah, and I think the exact term that he used was blow them off the face of the map.
I like it.
I like it too. I mean, it's a little extreme, but I mean, at what point? At what point do we, keep jerking around with these guys?
Right.
I mean, right now they're attacking the United Arab Emirates as we speak. All right. The UAE wasn't even part of this, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they weren't even part of it. So it's just one of those things, I guess. And now they're attacking our allies in their area, and it's not a good thing. And you know what? Every time they say they're going to come to the table and they're going to come to a deal or come to a peace agreement, or they just don't. So
the crazy thing, Double D, to me is a lot of people that are crying about this don't realize that this is literally what Donald Trump runs on, is peace through strength. This is what it is. Yeah. This is peace through strength. We're trying to bring peace to the world. We're trying to make it to where they can't enrich uranium to create nuclear bombs. They've attacked us on plenty of occasions. Other than this has nothing to do with it. So why is it that when we retaliate, when we decide to take control of this situation, we're the ones in the wrong?
Because, well, everybody likes to blame America, especially over in Europe, especially over in the Middle East. I mean, honestly, other than Israel and the UAE and a couple of our Middle Eastern allies, we pretty much get the blame for everything that goes on the planet. And Donald Trump has got to be the number one kingpin of that blame game. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's true TDS. It's true TDS.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just TDS. And it's worldwide. It's like a virus. It just spread like crazy.
You know what
and we all know
like? You know what it spread like, Double D?
What's that?
COVID.
Yeah, it sure did, didn't it?
So here we have Fox News breaking it down a little bit for us. Let's check out what they have to say.
Yeah, let's check it out, Bird. We'll let that clip roll, Bird.
We do have some more breaking news related to the Iran war. This is by Fox News right here saying breaking Trump speaking with Fox News' Trey Yingst threatens that Iran will be, quote, blown off the face of the earth if the Islamic Republic attacks U.S. ships guiding vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. So that is some new developments as we continue to track all of the breaking news. We had just brought you this breaking news moments ago that the U.S. military says it has sunk 6 Iranian small boats that were targeting civilian vessels in the latest test of the ceasefire. Admiral Brad Cooper, who heads U.S. Central Command, said U.S. military helicopters have sunk 6 Iranian small boats that were targeting civilian vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, the latest test of this ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. Admiral Cooper said the U.S. military has been able to clear a pathway in the Strait of Hormuz that is free of any Iranian mines in an effort to allow commercial vessels to transit the waterway. He said the U.S. military also has set up a defensive umbrella that includes American helicopters and fighter planes to protect the freighters leaving the strait. But we continue to follow the very latest developments as President Trump now ramping up rhetoric, saying that he will blow Iran off the face of the earth should there be any sort of retaliation on Iran's behalf. All of this comes as the United Arab Emirates said earlier today that it came on.
So Iran wanted to send some little baby ships in with some little baby guns in, and then they effed around and found out, and they all got blown to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, they put 6 of them right to the bottom of the sea.
Bottom of the sea. I said ocean.
I guess that gives it a new meaning, from the river to the sea. In their case, the Strait of Hormuz to the bottom of the sea.
Yep, is where they will be.
I mean, dude, that's an FAFO situation, man. We've been warning them. They have been playing around with the United States for 47 years. Yeah. Honestly, Reagan should have did this 47 years ago, and we wouldn't even be having these conversations about Iran today.
No, you're not. You're not wrong at all.
Under attack by Iran for the first time since this ceasefire took hold in early April. Those attacks appeared to be in response to President Trump's latest efforts to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The defense ministry with the UAE said Iran had launched 4 cruise missiles, with 3 shot down and 1 falling into the sea. Those attacks came after the U.S. military said 2 American-flagged merchant ships had successfully transited the Strait of Hormuz after it launched a new initiative to restore traffic Monday. So we are continuing to follow all of those breaking news developments.
I bet they didn't like to hear that one, that two American ships made it through just fine. I bet you Iran's pissed about that.
Oh, you know they are, dude, because it's, even though they're keeping everybody else out, we're their main target. You know what I mean? Yep. But as we're proving,
we're not the ones to be messed with.
No, dude, we are. I don't care what anybody says. We have the strongest military in the world. And why is that? Because we have the largest military budget compared to any other country on the planet, with the exceptions of maybe China and Russia. But even them, we still have a bigger military budget. They have a very good military in both of those, both of those countries and empires too. But the truth be told, we are the biggest kid on the block when it comes to the military. And where Iran even thought they could stand the chance is beyond me. I think, you know what? They were fooling themselves.
You're not wrong. Well, they've responded to Trump's new operation in the Strait of Hormuz. I didn't see this yet. Let's see what they have to say.
I have not seen it either, so I'm pretty curious to see what they have to say, because I don't know.
Meanwhile, to Operation Epic Fury, right now, U.S. forces are expected to be helping ships trapped in the Strait of Hormuz. It's called Project Freedom.
It comes after a second UK ship is reporting they were attacked in the critical waterway.
Brian Yennis joins us live from Tel Aviv with the latest. Hey, Brian.
Hey, good morning. Well, Project Freedom launched this morning. The president calls it a humanitarian effort to safely guide some 800 cargo ships and tankers and their 20,000 crew members safely out of the Strait of Hormuz. The president says these stranded ships are running out of food and supplies and are merely neutral bystanders in this whole thing. In a very lengthy Truth Social post, President Trump went on to say, "For the good of Iran, the Middle East, and the United States, we've told these countries that we will guide their ships safely out of these restricted waterways so that they can freely and ably get on with their business. The ship movement is merely meant to free up people, companies, and countries that have done absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
They are victims of circumstance. This is a humanitarian gesture on behalf of the U.S., Middle Eastern countries, but in particular, the country of Iran." The president warned Iran that any interference with this humanitarian mission will be, quote, dealt with forcefully. CENTCOM says guided missile destroyers, over 100 land and sea-based aircraft, and 15,000 service members are supporting this mission. Project Freedom is described as a coordination and information sharing effort to help guide these ships safely through the Strait of Hormuz. The Wall Street Journal reports U.S. Navy ships will not be escorting ships through the strait. The head of Iran's parliament's National Security and Foreign Policy Committee is, quote, warning any American interference in the new maritime regime of the Strait of Hormuz will be considered a violation of the ceasefire. The Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf would not be managed by Trump's delusional posts. No one would believe blame game scenarios.
Well, you could talk the talk all you want, buddy. But
that's right.
You're going to find out that sooner or later that, hey, maybe I should have just shut my mouth and let what was going on go on.
Another thing too, Bert, is they're attacking innocent countries in this whole situation, and they're blocking their ships from getting through. They're interfering with their, paths of commerce, and they're all, and yet they're trying to pull it off like it's just the United States. Well, you know what? Like the old saying goes, it takes two to tango. It's not my fault or our fault if Iran has two left feet. That's on them.
That's true. No, that's 1,000% true.
The UK military says the U.S. has now established an enhanced security area for ships via Oman's territorial waters south of where traffic usually transits in the Strait of Hormuz. The UK warns that the security level, though, remains critical in the strait. Yesterday, an oil tanker was attacked, hit by unknown projectiles north of the UAE. And
I heard about that.
A cargo ship was attacked by multiple small boats near the coast of Iran. All crews are safe. Meanwhile, in assigned diplomatic negotiations may be heading in the right direction with Iran, the U.S. returned a seized Iranian container ship, the Tuska, back to Iran. Its 22 crew members are in Pakistan. They're being flown to Iran today. Pakistan, which has been mediating the negotiations between the U.S. and Iran, calls this a confidence-building measure amid these negotiations. And perhaps another good sign, guys, President Trump last night at the White House was asked by reporters and shouted questions, how are negotiations going? He had two words, quote, very well. Guys?
There you go.
We'll see what that means today, because Iran wants to just play it out. But the question is, they came back with two offers in 3 days. So how much strain are they actually under? Because evidently
they're under a lot of strain, and they realize that their country's going to collapse if they don't just start following the rules. All we're asking is not to be able to enrich uranium. We want your uranium. That's it. I don't care. You guys don't need it. What do you need that much uranium for? The only thing is to build a nuclear weapon. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. We need it for batteries.
Right. These people want. This is crazy. What these people are willing to die on a hill for. Like, who gives a shit about Iran? Fuck Iran.
Because let's be honest, Bird, do you honestly think Iran cares about the environment and building electric cars and electric this and electric trucks and electric trains and all that?
They care more.
No, they don't give a rat's ass.
They would rather electrocute their citizens than build electric cars. They'd rather use it for something like that.
Which reminds me of what Donald Trump said about the whole, one of the reasons that the Iranian people cannot rise against their oppressive regime is because most of them are unarmed.
Yeah,
they're unarmed.
Yeah,
and we've been sending guns over there, and they just keep going into the hands of those of the regime. So the people would rise up if they had the ability to do so, but you can't. You could have 1 billion people, and then 10 people with all the machine guns. I got news for you. Who wants to be the first of those 1 billion people to run into the bullets?
And on top of that, Double D, that's literally what the Democrats are trying to do over here in America is take our guns away.
Oh, absolutely. They're trying to do it for the same exact reason.
So then when the Democrats take control, they don't have to lose power anymore.
And I guarantee you they'll have their guns. You can damn well believe that.
Oh, yeah. And even if they don't have their guns, they'll have their militia.
Yes, they'll have the militia or they'll have the military. See, they're still under the impression that the Second Amendment's for hunting.
Yeah.
But it's not.
No.
It's for protection. It's for self-preservation, protection from your government, protection from invaders, protection of foreign and domestic invasion, and most importantly, to protect your family.
Even if we want to get to the biblical term, our guns are technically our swords.
Pretty much.
I mean, because
we literally have a God-given right.
Right, back in biblical days, like swords were the main weapon of choice for the most part. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
so guns are swords. And I understand to live by sword, die by sword, but you also have to take into consideration the people that use it for straight up protection.
And what's the first thing that occupying countries would do, like the Romans were notorious for? First thing they would do to a country that they took over is they'd force them to lay down their swords.
Yep, lay your swords down, and then we're going to take over.
Yep. I mean, so, that's exactly what's happening in Iran and has been going on for 47 years. Christians, even the socialists who started out, actually pairing up with the Iranian regime and the Ayatollah, they were forced to put down their arms. Now, they really weren't forced. They actually gleefully did it. And what's the first thing that happened? 30,000, not 30 million, 30,000 socialists were killed because, well, they gave up their guns willingly.
To be fair, if they gave up their guns willingly, but they were going to be forced anyway, they were still forced to give their guns up.
Oh, yeah, they were going to die no matter what.
Yeah, they were still forced regardless. So it is what it is. I just don't understand why people are willing to die on the hill for Iran. I don't get it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and right now, Iran's making two offers. I don't see where they have room for a counteroffer. Do what we say,
or turn into a parking lot.
Or turn them into a parking lot.
A day or two from totally reaching capacity with nowhere to put any of their oil, which means they have to cap their wells, which means those wells will never have the same capacity again. So if they're feeling that, that means the revenues diminish. That means they don't pay their soldiers, they don't pay their paramilitary, and then the IRGC is next. Then you combine that with the clampdown on cryptocurrency that Scott Bessent's leading, and the fact that a lot of these funds are being frozen by the Gulf states where the IRGC was eliciting, making money. That could be that type of pressure, economic fury, that could bring them to their knees.
So this is described as a humanitarian gesture. We're basically safely guiding roughly 900 stranded ships and their crews out of the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM is providing destroyers and unmanned platforms and 100 aircraft to support the mission. But Iran is seeing this as a break of the ceasefire.
And of course,
how is that a break of the ceasefire? A break of the ceasefire would continue to be if we were to continue to bomb Iran. That would be a break of the ceasefire. Guiding ships that have nothing to do with what's going on between us and Iran out of the Strait of Hormuz to get to going what they're doing. That's literally a great gesture and common decency.
The bottom line, Bert, is Iran, they're not coming back with anything that's going to suggest that this ceasefire is going to last anyway.
Right.
They're not going to stop arming Hamas. They're not going to stop arming Hezbollah and pushing that ideology.
Yep.
The bottom line is, I think we're at that point now where it doesn't matter what they come back with. I think it's all or none at this point.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So my final thoughts is, Iran, get your shit together or turn into a parking lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Because honestly, every day they get closer and closer to like, as he said, being blown off the face of the earth. I mean, at some point it's going to happen, and whether people like it or not,
yep.
At some point it's going to happen because there's a breaking point. We are the toughest kid on the block, and it's about time that Iran, the rest of the Middle East, Europe, and even Israel realize and notice that we make the rules now, whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
And Donald Trump is the leader of writing those rules. Yeah. And that's all there is to it. I mean, my final thoughts, they don't have a choice.
Yeah, they have no leverage. Leverage at all.
It's none whatsoever. It's time to put up or shut up.
There you go. Well, I think on that note, I'm going to end it. So I just want to thank God, because without him, none of this is possible. I want to thank Double D. I want to thank the audience and my friends and family.
And as always, Bird, thanks for making the show happen every time as you do. Audience, thank you for sticking around. You're the reason that we're the reason. And most importantly, I do want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because without him, I wouldn't be here to give this message in the first place. And with all that, good night, y'all.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. Peace.